Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. We have a special show tonight. Darren and I are going to be talking about our time at Galaxy Con in Raleigh yesterday. As many of our viewers know, that I was down in Georgia for the past 3 weeks training for a new job. Upon successful completion of the first part of my training, on the way back home, stopped off and hung out with Darren yesterday. And we decided to go check out Galaxy Con Raleigh. And of course, joining me in the co-host seat, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Darren Starling.
Yeah, no.
And just for proof, here is the actual program. So we had a lot of fun. This was the first time that Darren and I actually went to a convention together.
And albeit it was in the southern part of the country, and you came to me instead of me going to you.
Yeah.
After all that talk about me going to you.
Yep. So this is a cool badge to have, something I didn't think I would have. A nice Galaxy Con badge. Darren's got the same thing. And,
And I think I commented on it. I mean, it's kind of, but the quality of the badges was actually surprising. Right? It seemed more durable than some of the badges used in the past or at other conventions.
Yeah, it actually seemed like it was pretty good plastic for Galaxy Con.
It's like that really hard plastic that you get with the credit cards that's one step short of being metal.
And good evening, John. I hope you're having a wonderful start of the weekend, first half of the weekend. He says, Darren, your picture changed.
Yeah, because I haven't switched to my tablet.
So tonight, like I said, we're going to review our time at Galaxy Con, talk about some of the stuff that we saw, the experiences, how it compares to a lot of the conventions that I've gone to up in the northern or northeastern U.S., I should say, not just New England, but northeastern U.S. And as an added bonus, I have a mystery bag, which we will open up in a few minutes because I'm curious as to what's in there. But first things first that I wanted to show off. After many, many years of hoping to complete the Rosario Vampire checklist of voice actors, Colleen Clinkenbeard was one of the guests for Galaxy Con. I took a big chance, and Darren, you were kind of laughing at me about waiting so long to try to get the autograph, but I waited till about 15 minutes before the dealer's hall closed, and I was able to get the autograph. Of course, Mocha. I was wearing my Mocha Rosario Vampire shirt when I met her as well.
And so, isn't that the same print that's on your shirt? Now that I think about it, we're very similar.
Very similar. There's a very similar shirt, a very similar print for the shirt. Another purchase that I made is our friend Kristen McGuire, who has been on the show, came out with a book not long ago talking about a little insight to all of the anime characters she's voiced from 2015 to 2022. And all the art in here is her own art showing off the characters that she has voiced. And you even have some of the rough sketches going into some of the full finished product, full pictures. You got Keijo, of course, Slime. A lot of really, really good. And this one here is probably got to be like the cutest Maline picture I've ever seen. So it was a really, really good book, and I have no regrets at getting this book at all. Another,
Would you count it in the ranks of the official art books you get from Gavin?
in a way, I think this is better than the art books that I get from Gavin, because this was bought from a voice actress who also did all of the art in it. So it's like her autobiography of voice acting and all of the anime characters that she's done. I also walked away with some stickers, a couple of keychains, and Darren was nice enough to get me an early Christmas present, so to speak, and got me a nice Mega Man shirt. And it is double-sided. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the back, but and on the side here you have the rest of them. And the place that we got it from said that he got House of Anime. Says that he got them from Japan. The size of this shirt is 4X. It barely fits me, and I normally wear a large, so I know that's an actual Japanese. This is actual Japanese clothing. Darren also got a shirt.
Yep.
In fact, you walked away from his booth with a lot of stuff.
Yes, because he had decent quality merchandise at reasonable prices.
And you got a Rias Gremory hoodie, which had the new style art on the front and the old style art on the back.
Yep. And I'll show them off in a minute. I'm not in a position to at this exact second.
That's okay. You also got a Data Live shirt.
Yep. And this was one that was hanging directly next to yours. And I'm like, screw it. If I'm going to get one, I'm going to get you one, because the Megamine just fits.
Oh, yeah.
And the Kirby fits me.
And then you also got a figure from that shop as well.
Yep. One from To Love Rue. Going along with my favorite characters, Yui, which I got at an Amazement, was number 2. But my absolute favorite character is Momo. And I managed to find a decent one of her at and like I said, fairly reasonable price. So I'm like, well, while I'm here, go ahead and make it an even sale by throwing this into.
And good evening, None Ya Business and Ross. I hope you all are having a wonderful night. Like I said, this is kind of a surprise show. We're not going to be on too long. Just on my way home. On my way back from Georgia, stopped off and spent last night at Darren's house and got there early enough where we decided to go hang out at Galaxy Con, since that was going on like 20 minutes from Darren's house. And it was like, let's go check that out. And happy birthday to Emily Neves. Very talented voice actress. Now I will start giving a review here of my impression, and this is just based off of what I saw Friday. Obviously, Saturdays are the busiest days for conventions, but from my experience of all the conventions I've gone to, I want to give an honest assessment based off of my experience. And Darren, you know, I have traveled to probably too many conventions.
Well, you're not wrong.
And knowing Galaxy Con and the hype around it, and what on average, what was their attendance typically?
I want to say that their last pulled attendance pre-COVID was just shy or right around the 50,000 mark. In prior years, of course, it was building up. So it started off in the 20,000 range, and then it went up to the 30,000 range. And I'd have to Google the last official count numbers for the past couple of years because it was virtual in 21, and then it was semi-virtual last year, and then of course this year they had it in person.
Now, that being said, it's a pre-COVID. It was a larger scale convention than Anime Boston or Kineticon, which those are the Anime Boston, Kineticon, and Katsucon are probably the three largest conventions that I attended. And obviously, Kineticon and Anime Boston, I've attended multiple times. So going off of those numbers, knowing that Galaxy Con usually has a high attendance, I was surprised that we were able to walk in and get Friday only badges right at the registration. That being said, they were sold out for Saturday and Sunday.
And years past, that's not normal because I've been able to get day passes or all 3 day passes at the door, no problems. Now, the first year we went, we had to wait in a long line outside the building, but we also went earlier in the day. As I think I told you beforehand, my friend Matt, who's been on the show, worked at the courthouse, and he said on his lunch break, he said the line was ridiculous. So even though we got there late and kind of missed some of the action, we missed the line associated with it.
Yes, and that was very beneficial. Waiting last minute worked in our favor multiple times.
Yes, surprisingly, because normally that doesn't work out too good.
Yeah, and so we got in, decided to walk around a little bit, and head down to the dealers hall where all the celebrity guests, cosplaying guests, artist guests, basically all the big names that they had.
And I'm not going to lie, the lineup this year was actually pretty extensive and pretty good.
They had a lot of amazing guests that were going to be there, and if I had more money, I probably would have gotten a lot more autographs, especially due to the fact that I was a Star Trek Next Generation nerd, and knowing that they had Brent Spiner, who was my favorite from Next Generation, who was Data in that. They also had the actor who was Q, Denise Crosby, who was Lieutenant Trisha Yar, was there. Gates McFadden, so many others. LeVar Burton was there. John DeLance, who was Q. So they had quite a lot of people from Next Generation there. Ross asking, was it crowded or less crowded at the convention? And John Knight wants to know, did you get to interview the English voice actors? We did not do any interviews, but we did hand out a lot of business cards. So there are potential people that we could be in contact with about future guests on the show, but I'm not going to say anything set in stone until we have confirmation. So I'm not going to mention who any of them are. It was nice, though, to see Kristen again. We hadn't talked with her for a while. And also, it was great to finally get a chance to meet Colleen. Also, I've told the story multiple times about getting married at a convention and having Barry Bostwick photobomb us. I got to reconnect with Barry. He was a guest at the con and showed him the photo, and he got to learn a little bit about voice acting because his table was across an aisle from Colleen Clinkenbeard's, and he had to ask, who is she and what does she do? Because her line has been extremely outrageously long all day, and he's been staring at it. So he had no idea who she was or what she did. And so it was fun explaining to him that she was a well-known voice actress, has voiced a lot of powerful female anime characters. and has a huge following. So that was kind of neat. And then we got to go say hi to Neil McCoy, who was a puppeteer in Bear in the Big Blue House. We know him from our days of Northeast Comic Con. We vended a table near him one year and chatted with him and had a lot of fun talking with him. And my wife did a little art sketch for him in a little sketchbook that he was bringing around. And so it was neat to reconnect with him. And we also got a chance shortly before his panel to say hi to Mario Bueno, who has been a past guest on the show. And that was your first time getting to meet Mario in person, right, Darren?
Correct.
And Mario's a great guy. I love chatting with him. We got to see about getting him back on the show again sometime soon. He said maybe within a couple of months he's got some stuff in the works. So who knows? And None Your Business says, I would love to have met John Delancey, by far my favorite Next Generation character. Yeah, Q was a good character in that. Now, Darren, I know that you picked up a few things. I don't know if you're ready to show off the stuff that you've picked up.
Yep, I'm ready to show off a couple of them, but part of me wants to save some for tomorrow night. The other part of me is like, no, we have a guest, and to go ahead and show them off now. Because I also want to get flack from our co-host.
Well, why not do both?
Screw it. I doubt she's going to watch this one anyway. I'll watch her watch it.
At least not be. Well, I didn't even tell her we were doing this, so she'll find out the hard way.
I'd say all of you in the chat, don't message.
She's usually busy on Saturday nights anyway.
Well, anyway, this is the Kermie shirt I got also in 4X as a compliment to Doug's Konosuba shirt because they were hanging right beside each other.
And the quality is actually really nice. The material feels really good.
It really does. And then beside it, even though it's not official merchandise, but I just had to. I had to get my Sakurajima. Unfortunately, they didn't have the pink one that they had on display, which I actually liked the best, but I think this turned out pretty good. I mean, what do you think?
That did turn out really good. I like that you went with the white lettering on the black background. I think that was the best choice.
Yep, I was like, well, let me get a standard color that's going to look good, and let me see if I can find something that's going to make her pop. Because, like I said, unfortunately, the pink accented her better, but ultimately, this didn't come out too bad at all. I'm thoroughly pleased. And then, lastly, the last piece of clothing I bought is my favorite. And what?
Ross had a quick comment in the chat. Or he says, "Quick question: because of the announcement of possible aliens being real, is it weird to hope I'm from planet Katia?" I would not be opposed to meeting Eris. Maybe that's where all the Nekapara girls came from.
All right. So, let's put it up.
That is the Rias hoodie that he picked up.
And it is also reverse-sided. And here's the interesting part. This is the art style from DxD Hero. While I absolutely love DxD, Hero, the art style was not my favorite, even though it was closer to the original Art of the Light novels. But to be honest, and Doug, you can give me your opinion on this,
would DXD have been as big of a success if they had started off with this art style from the get-go versus the one that T and K brought us that we're used to?
I honestly, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, that style is more of a cutesy style art, where the other one was a little bit more realistic. If you look hard enough, Ross, you might find an iron hoodie.
Well, to be fair, the other two that this guy had was 02, and the other one was what, Kirito?
I think so, yeah.
But
It was an SAO one, and both of us were like, nope.
Part of me is kind of regretting not at least seeing what the backside of the 02 one was, because remember, I didn't even look at the backside of this till after I purchased it.
Yeah. We could always go back tomorrow and see.
Yeah. If I can get in, that's the problem. And plus, I don't know what time the dealer hall is going to close tomorrow. I would have to get out of work.
He might have sold it too.
Yeah. Plus, don't forget, passes are sold out.
I'm sure you could find a way of getting in there.
If nothing else, be like, hey, can I borrow your pass just long enough to get into the dealer's room? Here's $10.
Sunday looks exhibition hall hours 10 to 6.
Oh, that's actually not terrible.
No, it's not.
Because normally, well, being the one that goes to Anime-Zing all the time, but the dealer's room on those days, they normally kick us out by 12, 1 o'clock. So, because of course, they got to give the dealers time to tear down and pack up and.
And Ross with another zinger of a comment says, "You can't handle 02's backside, Darren. You'd die if you got near it."
Not true, sir.
Well, one thing I did notice about Galaxy Con, and I'm not really like into the gaming aspect at the Comic Cons and anime conventions and stuff. I know they're very popular, but for a con the size and as well known as Galaxy Con is, I was a little disappointed on how small their gaming area was. And I know I made that comment to you, Darren, because I just did, like, based off of Kineticon's gaming area, which last year included a wrestling ring.
Like I was telling you, they've had different stuff. I mean, they could have rearranged it for today for all we know. But
I mean, it was all computer gaming. There was no
there was some console setup. You just had to look a little bit closer.
But I was talking about things like DDR, which is I've seen at a lot of conventions. They'll bring in a DDR, Rock Band for consoles, some of the typical arcade style games.
Yep.
But they had none of that.
Yep.
So I was disappointed on that aspect. Also, Friday was busy, but in a way, I thought it was going to be busier. But like we said, they still had tickets, so you could get at the door for Friday. Saturday and Sunday were sold out. So a lot of people could be focusing on going to, today, tomorrow. Plus, it was all hot as blue blazes down there.
Yeah, they literally picked the hottest day of the year. The real feel outside was like 107 with the humidity factored in yesterday. So for anyone not used to that kind of heat, it'll take it out of you.
And Ross, DDR, or Dance Dance Revolution.
Yes. Now, Anime-Zing, as I was telling Doug, has an actual game room, has the arcade games, the VR, the DDR machines. It had everything, but like I said, two totally different conventions. Apparently, most of GalaxyCon's budget probably went toward bringing in the guests and not so much on
Yeah.
gaming this year. I mean, for the guests they had, I mean, I'm sure they shelled out a pretty
A very pretty penny. And I see you have a figure up to show.
Yep, the same gentleman that I bought the hoodie and our shirts from. The Bunny Girl Senpai shirt was not from this dealer, but this is the other bit of money that I spent at that booth. And that is Momo's figure. I don't know if I can get better lighting on it, but without taking it out of the box.
Probably not.
That's Mo.
Oh, there you go. It was a cute figure. Like I said,
Yep.
I just really didn't have the money for it to buy any figures, so I did not buy a figure per se, but I do have the mystery bag, and I have no idea what's in this.
Okay, so apparently Darkness's figure complements this one.
Oh, okay. So now you gotta look for Yami.
Yep, and I think I saw her too, but I didn't. Of course, you don't realize a lot of this stuff until afterwards.
And I do want to throw a shout out to Anime Paradisu, which is a anime store down in Raleigh. Darren knows very well. They are the people that I got the mystery bag from.
And
They
you
had
got the last one.
And I got the last one. I have not told them what mystery bag it was because a lot of them were themed based around a specific show. Of course, they had your typical My Hero Academia. They had Spy Family. They had
Titan.
Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball, Inuyasha. So a lot of the mainstream ones. And the one that I went for was My Dress Up Darling.
Because of course, why not go after Best Girl?
Exactly. And like I said, I have no idea what's in this bag. Do you want to show off the other figures you got first, and then we'll do the mystery bag?
Sure, why not? Because these set me back. But to be fair, it was worth it. Maybe. One of them is actually decent size. But first, I did get another Rias. And this is actually very similar. This is the same manufacturer as the Konako figure I have. So I'm believing this was probably from the same set.
That's very possible.
And then, secondly, and the main reason I buy these whenever I can was because they're getting harder and harder to find. But I got Rias's other figure that incorporates one of my favorite aspects.
Bunny Girl Rias.
Yeah. And this one actually comes in 3 different outfits: purple, black, and white. Both the purple and the black were the same price. However, if you take the time to look them up, the black version was worth a little bit more. So I went ahead and got the black version because if they're the same price, then go ahead and get a bigger bang for my buck since they're already so expensive.
Oh, yeah. So I have...
So my collection is slowly growing.
I'm a bad influence. I wonder where you got that Data Live figure from.
I wonder. I think a certain Doug Engler brought it with him from because he doesn't like darkness.
It's not that I don't like her. I just think that another character is Best Girl from the show.
Okay, and I was correct. That Konako's figure was a hero figure, and this is hero also. So
Sweet. And John Knight in the chat says he got the One Piece film, One Piece film Red Blu-ray from Walmart. That's pretty cool. So let's reach into the bag here. As I have opened the bag up, and there was a bunch of different things that could be in there. And this is, oh my god.
I see you're liking what you found already.
A blanket.
Oh, wow. About to say, watch your wife steal that one.
Oh no, this one's mine. She's got a blanket. Holy cow. And this is one of those really good blankets. Oh, wow. That alone is the value of the bag.
Yep.
I'll be honest.
If I remember correctly, those were 25, 30-ish dollars, I think. So he's definitely correct. That's a big bulk of the value in the bag.
Oh no, because Otaku Joe's had a Kuma Bear blanket, same like style, and he was selling that for like $65 or $70.
Wow. Man, they've gone up since I bought my Rias one. Why does everything revolve around Rias? Oh wait, because there's no Zenobia merch hardly.
It's got some stickers, My Dress Up Darling stickers, which these were all the characters that you see in the opening sequence. And there's one other thing in here I thought was a figure, but this is, oh, okay, an anime mouse pad.
Oh. Now, is it the one with the breast implants on it, or is it just your typical mouse pad?
This looks like it's just your typical mouse pad.
Okay, I just had to ask.
They didn't want to lose the Marin. Remember, she's best girl. So no figures in here. I felt the box. I could feel that there was a box in there. I'm like, oh, maybe there's a figure, because I could feel that through the bag when I picked up the bag. But this is very oh my god, this is a huge...
Wait, that's almost like a plate. That's like for your keyboard and your mouse.
Yeah.
But that's cute. And I like how they have obverse. They have the opposite on each side, so they show the back of the opposite on each side.
Dude, that will take up like my whole desk. Like the whole desk right here is just gonna be this. I'm not complaining at all, though. Holy crap! I'm excited about that blanket, though. Genuinely.
Once it starts getting cold over there, I'm sure you're going to be. Maybe you'll be on the show and you'll be like Angela is all the time.
I should do that tomorrow night just for S&Gs.
I would. And I think, and like I said, if y'all watch the show tomorrow night, y'all might see me turn my front-facing camera on with my hoodie, with my new hoodie on.
You should do that just to get a rise
out of her.
You definitely get a reaction out of her. And B, I think you would shock most of our viewers.
What? The fact that I actually exist?
Yes. The fact that they can finally put a picture to, put a face to a voice.
Well, I'm more than just a pretty voice.
See, I always started off just doing the. Don't give me ideas, Ross. Ross says, Doug's life gone wrong. Divorce the wife, marry waifu blanket.
Hey, I was actually talking about this to someone today, Have you seen? And I should have brought this clip up last night if I'd have thought about it. But there's a clip from Dr. Stone where it's the world's fastest divorce.
Britney Spears?
No, faster than that, actually.
I don't think I've seen that. Then again, I also haven't watched Dr. Stone.
Oh, long story short, he gets married because he wins a tournament, and then because they want him to stay and party, and he says, "No, I got better things to do." They're like, "But you have to stay. You're the guest of honor. You won. You're the groom." He's like, "Okay, I'm divorcing," and then just runs away.
So that's actually a lot of cute stuff in that. I am very happy that I got that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have gotten a Marin figure, but I think the blanket definitely makes up for.
Okay, take it out. Let's see what it looks like. May have to stand back a bit.
Yeah, I probably have to take the headset off and to show it off. And of course, they have like 15 million of these little plastic tabs.
Yep, because they don't want anyone tampering with their stuff until you buy it. Then it's your problem.
Yep. Just the bad thing is they end up going everywhere. All right, I'm going to stand up now and show off this blanket. Well, this feels nice too. So that's the top half. But yeah, I like that. I kind of really like that actually.
So,
I'm not gonna lie, that might actually be the best mystery bag I've ever purchased.
I was about to say, so merchandise wise, has this been some of your more interesting, better finds, better value finds at a convention? Or was it more special because it was one that both of us attended?
Give you 100% honest answer. The best part of Galaxy Con was getting to go there with you.
Well, I concur. The fact that I had someone to actually go with, because even though I normally go with Matt, he's not always available to go for obvious reasons. So
Yeah.
sometimes I go by myself and don't do much of anything other than walk around and try to talk to the occasional person. But
Darren also got to see me go full-fledged AZR promotion mode.
now, are you also going to show off any of the pictures you got, even though I know we only got a few?
I did only really take 2 pictures of cosplayers. And that was the first group, which we were coming down the stairs after talking with Mario, and they were taking some selfies and stuff on the stairs. They looked awesome. I was like, I need to get a photo of all of them. And then the other photo that I got was of a fursuiter bat. That's impressive. I've seen a lot of fursuits. That's the first bat I've seen.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fursuiter by any means or in the furry fandom, but the suit he was wearing was actually very well done.
And the fact that he had the wings and like he had to like fully put his arms out to showcase the wings. I had to stand back quite a ways to be able to get the wings in that photo. But yeah, next time that you stop by Anime Paradiso, Darren, tell them that I say thank you very much for that mystery bag.
Will do.
Like I said, no figures, but what I got definitely is more practical than figures. I literally have laid out that my dress up darling mouse pad thing across the top of my desk. It's like, and I probably will use the blanket. Maybe tomorrow I'll start the show off, not putting the camera on, and then just show up like this.
Yeah, and be like, "Hey, Ange, you're not the only one." Hey, and wait a second. If that's the case, should I get out my DXD blanket, or do you think that's a little? Well, no, it's going to be an 18+ show, so it's actually perfect timing.
Yeah, I can sit there like this and be like, I'm just covered with my girl.
And I will say the same thing.
Yeah, that's actually gonna be a great blanket for sitting on the couch watching TV or playing Minecraft or something. I'm very happy about that. Ross says that he is proud of me for not spending too much this time. Ross, my limit was $200 and I spent every penny.
Yep. Yep. And my limit, I'd rather not say.
Darren's budget or limit was higher than mine, and let's just say one of the Rias figures was more than what I had to spend. Also, we talked with a few of the cosplayers that were there as cosplaying guests, including Maki Roll. She was great to chat with. Very, very nice. Very sweet girl. And there were a few other cosplayers that we had stopped to talk to and wanted to potentially see about maybe getting them on the show. As Darren, as you know, I've always talked about trying to find cosplayers from other areas outside of New England to bring on the show.
Yep.
So I think that was a good way of starting to try to find new faces and more talent from around the U.S., not just New England.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as an experience for Galaxy Con, I had fun. I thought it was going to be a little bit busier than it was on Friday, but I'm sure today it was absolutely a madhouse. Artist Alley was hard to find and very small. I'm kind of disappointed on. I almost feel like they did the artist dirty, and but it is what it is. It was like I said, Artist Alley felt very small for the room they were in. But then again, I'm also comparing it to, based on the size of the attendance compared to other cons of similar size or guest status, so to speak. Usually the Artist Alley are a lot bigger. I don't know how much tables and stuff were, but hopefully all the artists were able to have successful weekends this weekend. All in all, had a lot of fun. Wish they had a bigger Artist Alley. Ross asked, "Are you ready to get back home and relax?" I am home, Ross. This is my new apartment. I am in Pennsylvania now. I left Darren's house this morning around probably 6, and started heading back home shortly thereafter. So had to figure out how to set stuff up, because the way things were set up before in the other apartment, didn't have the room for everything in the places that we wanted to put them. So still got some things in boxes. Still need to get more of the anime figures out of our other storage. But that'll come in time. On that note, I figured we were only going to do about a half hour. We've done 45 minutes, so be sure to join us tomorrow night as we welcome the boys from Token with the Dead. It's going to be a crazy show, I can promise you that. It's going to be an absolutely crazy show. Expect anything and everything. Viewer discretion is advised for tomorrow night's show, because let's just say, I don't know if due to the fact there's 2 of them, it could be as bad as a Julia show. But I don't know if I'd want to get Julia and them on the same show, because then we'd totally get derailed and probably have the show taken down off of YouTube. I could just see them setting each other off. But until tomorrow night, when we welcome Token with the Dead, I hope everybody has a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the night. Enjoy watching anime tomorrow. And we'll see you right back here again tomorrow for more Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube. Have a good night, all.